Hello yogis, here with another yoga flow, and today we'll be focusing on eliminating the hops from our handstands. So 2 blocks are the recommended props. If you have anything to create a higher level, like some books or maybe even a chair, anything of that sort, that'll work, that'll suffice. So go ahead and join me in broken toe pose. You can tuck the toes, take a seat on top of your heels, and manually tuck the pinky toes. All right, and then squeeze your thighs together. Find a neutral pelvic bowl, firm your pelvic floor, from navel to spine, kiss it in towards the heart space, tuck the chin, re-extend up through your crown, and then sweep the arms up. Spiral the pinky edges in towards midline, ball hands into fists, and then explode like you're flicking water off of fingertips. This is to get the arms ready for weight bearing. All right. When you're ready, release the hands back down to floor. Walk forward into tabletop pose. You can untuck the toes, gentle drum roll, kick your feet out. Windshield wiper the heels, fingertips point towards your knees, and lean your weight back. Slowly peel the heels of the hands up off of the mat. Fingertips will lift very last. Can you get your elbows to the floor before your fingers lift? Find your edge. Remember to consciously expand with awareness of our edge. You can walk the hands back, lift your knees up, maybe lift up on top of the toe knuckles. That'll help you really feel with your feet in space, but not for everyone. Feel free to skip it. Making your way back into tabletop pose. Tuck your toes, hips rise up and back. Downward facing dog pose, walk it out. Bending one knee and then the other, allow the hips to shift from side to side, breathing into calves, hamstrings, and lower back. Pedal your way into stillness. And then lower your elbows down to the floor. Wrap your elbows in. Can you hover the elbows before they touch down? So it'll really help with externally rotating the humerus head bone in the shoulder socket. Now that we've arrived in dolphin, roll the spine forward into your forearm plank. Pause and hold. Lift the space up in between the shoulder blades. Firm navel in towards spine, kiss it in towards the heart space. Hips lower into your Sphinx pose, untuck the toes. Broaden across the collarbones. You can take a couple head nods here. Drop right ear towards right shoulder. Let chin up through chest, lift your left shoulder. Breathe into your cervical spine. And then when you're complete with that, coming back through to center, go ahead and straighten through the arms. Take some little shoulder rolls as well. You can switch the direction. You can also alternate. And then again, switch the direction. Slowly lower that back down. Hands come behind the back. Interlace. Press palms together. Reach hands back behind. Reach out through balls of feet. Spiral on your thighs up towards the ceiling. Tuck chin, extend out the crown. Keep your back core engaged. Release the interlace. Hands like underneath shoulders. Add strength of arms. Press up, lift up into your cobra pose. Wrap the elbows in. Roll the shoulders back. Puff chest. Tuck toes, hips rise up and back for your downward facing dog pose. And from downward facing dog, lift the heels and little toe taps. Little steps with the toes all the way to the front of the mat. And when you've arrived, you can release the heels back down. Walk the feet wide, bend deeply into both knees, elbows into your inner thighs. Press the palms together, broaden across your collarbones. You're in Malasana squat. All right, take a seat, float both feet. Knees can stay bent, maybe straighten through the legs. Perfectly fine if you have to keep the knees bent. Extend the arms forward. Inhale as you lower. Exhales to lift. Inhales to lower. Exhales to lift. Inhales to lower and pause here. So we're gonna replicate what we're gonna do for our first press into handstand. Draw your right knee into your chest, right? And come in as close as you can here. Maybe draw forehead towards shin. Still engaged though. This is still a half boat. From here, extend the arms up and overhead, press through the palms as though you were pressing into a handstand. Slowly begin to ascend the right leg up to meet the left leg. Core stays engaged, squeeze the legs together at the top, then hug the knees in. Rock it up into your Malasana squat. Yay, I'm getting right into it. So take your block. Block can come underneath your feet. If you're new to crow pose, you may not need it. Perch on the block. Wrap your elbows in so you're making a nice angle with both of your triceps with which to rest your shin bones upon. Spread the fingers wide, press firmly with the index finger and thumb knuckles. Shift weight into your new foundation. See if you can float one or both feet up off of the block. Maybe, and this is extra, shift weight into your right shin. Left knee comes unglued. Extend the left leg back. You can reconnect, gently set down. All right, so that will have dispelled any limiting thought forms about our ability to carry our body with our arms, hopefully, if you got some hover time. If not, keep working on it. When you're ready, step that left foot way back. Inhale as you rise, high crescent pose. Scissor thighs together. Activate your pelvic floor muscles. Heel toe your right foot to the right. Left foot can swing down to a 45. Drive your left hip forward as you drive your right hip back. Gaze up, lift your heart up. So our first entry is going to be from neutral hips. We're keeping our hips neutral the entire time. Hands come behind the back, interlace. Press palms together. Puff the chest as you inhale. And exhale to hinge from hips. Lead with heart. You can set the torso down on top of the right thigh or allow the upper spine to forward fold deeper, allowing the crown to maybe touch the ground. Slowly rolling the spine up. Legs stay engaged. Both arms sweep up. Hands to hips as you straighten through your right leg. Scoot left foot forward. Shorten your stance. Find length through the spine. And exhale. Hinge from hips, lead with heart. Hands can come down to blocks. So again, if you have anything to provide a level, perfectly fine. We want to find this engagement because this is what's going to take us off of the ground, not a hop. Push the blocks away. Plug your right femur head bone into your right hip socket and see if you can float that right foot off of the mat. Gently set it back down. So that plugging in action is going to be what essentially lifts the foot off of the floor. Walk the hands on blocks forward for your supported warrior 3. Push out through heel, reach out through crown. Draw your hands into your heart center. Maybe airplane wings. Amazing. Maybe reach the arms straight forward for your Virabhadrasana C, capital T. Hands come down to mat, standing splits. Draw forehead towards shin. Breathe into your right hamstrings. The deeper we are in this split, the easier it will be to press. Take a moment, pause in your Malasana squat. Now take your blocks. This is why I have the camera angled this way so you can actually see. The block tower is going to be on the mat. This is for the right foot to perch on. Hands are in front of the block tower, but not as far as you would think. You're gonna wanna go a foot in front of the block tower. Really, we just want a couple inches in front of the block tower. And it's gonna feel nerve-wracking at first because your hips will stack with this block tower giving you the level that you need to bring those hips up and over the shoulder girdle. So right foot perches on the block tower. Left leg extends. Lean into a new foundation. When you feel the stack,
Plug the femur head bone in. And we're essentially learning how to be sacred geometry, so we're quite literally embodying a three-dimensional flower of life. You can work that slow, controlled descent down. As you should, be very aware of the blocks. So you don't want to accidentally stub your toe. Block tower off to the side. Well done. This stuff isn't easy, so anything that you do, even if it's just perching on the block tower and thinking about it, is beneficial, right? You're slowly bringing yourself into that space of getting ready to be ready, right? And then we'll slowly allow ourselves to come into alignment when we're ready. Go ahead and lower it down, take a seat, float both feet, knees can stay bent, maybe straighten through the legs. Inhale as you lower, and exhales to lift. Inhales to lower, exhales to lift. Lower and pause, and again, draw the left leg up. So the left foot is going to be our last point of contact when it comes to feet. Go ahead and enjoy the stretch while still finding engagement, right? So we're tricking our brain into engaging. We're essentially holding a hollow body while stretching the hamstrings. And now, from a space that allows your hips to remain neutral, extend the arms. Pretend like you're pressing through your palms like a handstand. And then slowly ascend that left leg to meet the right. Beautiful. Hug it in, rock it up. Back into Malasana squat. Block if you need it. Go ahead and use these levels. Again, we don't want to finagle our way into these spaces. We want to very slowly, methodically, gradually unearth these very specific universal grid lines. So no harm, no foul. Use the levels as needed to create the strength, the flexibility, the balance to hold the space. Hands plant, make a shelf with your arms. Spread the fingers wide, lean into your new foundation. See if you can float one or both feet up. And there's our crow, and then of course those of you that want to, you can shift weight into your left shin, right knee comes unglued. Maybe extend that right leg back. For your Ekapada Bakasana. Reconnect, and gently set back down. Be aware of that block. If you're using it, block can come back off to the side. Whew, all right. It's a nice warm up too. Go ahead and step that right foot way back. Inhale as you rise, high crescent pose. Both arms sweep up. Sit your thighs together, activate your pelvic floor. Heel toe the left foot to the left. Right foot swings down to a 45. Seal the outer edge down, lift the inner arch up. Hands can come behind the back. Opposite thumb on top for the awkward interlace. Puff chest as you inhale. And exhale to hinge from hips, lead with heart. You can set your torso down on top of your left thigh or keep going. And really, even at pinky edges will touch the ground. Of course, find your edge. Rise it back up as you inhale, both arms sweep up. Hands to hips, straighten through that left leg. Scoot that right foot forward, shorten the stance. Inhale as you find length through the spine. And exhale, hinge from hips, lead with heart. Hands can come down to blocks. Frame your left foot with hands on blocks. Push the blocks away. Plug left femur head bone into left hip socket. And see if you can float that left foot off of the mat. So again, this is the engagement that we will find. Really, once you've stacked that line, it's all you'll need to float the foot up off of the floor. Left foot back down to ground. Walk hands on block forward into your warrior three. Supported on blocks initially to start. Find the alignment. Spiral your inner right thigh up towards the ceiling. Push out through your heel. Reach out through your crown. With neutral hips, see if you can float those hands up. Maybe airplane wings. Maybe reach the arms straight forward for your capital T. Hands can come back down to blocks, then maybe to ground. Maybe more of a standing split. Pause for a moment in your malasana. So really crucial, yes, you can go into external in your standing splits. It does feel nice, it is a nice stretch. But for the purposes of finding our alignment in handstand, as we move from the standing split into the handstand, it's much easier if the hips are neutral. And that's kind of what we're working on, is finding that control. We'll come back for navigating into handstand from external hips. So block tower, again, is on the left side of your yoga mat. It's still on the yoga mat, but where our left foot would be in the standing split, we don't want to bring our hands too far forward. Challenge yourself to walk them back, really only a couple inches in front of the block tower. Hands plant just shoulder distance apart. Spread the fingers wide. Press firmly through the index finger and thumb knuckles. Spiral the eyes, the elbows in towards midline. Left foot perches onto the block tower. Right leg extends up like a standing split. Lean into your new foundation. Push the floor away. And then just plug it in. Slowly draw the leg up to meet. You can do this. Standing split press. You've got it. Excellent work. When you're complete, work that slow, controlled descent down. And gently release. Whew. Good stuff. And once you really get the hang of it, you can do multiple reps. You can take away a block. Eventually, you won't need the blocks. So a really great place to work our splits, our hip openers into our inversion practice. So placing the block tower off to the side, we'll use it for the next sequence. So keep your block tower on standby. Go ahead and straighten through the legs, heel toe the feet together. Inhale as you peel chest forward, find length arch spine. And exhale into forward fold. Chair pose, bending in the knees, both arms sweep. And reach out through your fingertips. Shift weight into your right foot. Left heel lifts towards your left seat. Hands can come through your heart center. Pitch heart forward as you reach your left foot back for your warrior three. Gently bending in the right knee. Left foot steps way back. Inhale, both arms sweep for your high crescent pose. Open down to your warrior two. Adjust the stance, heel to arch alignment. Challenge yourself with the stance. Make sure your right ankle and knee are stacking. Flip right palm, reverse your warrior. Left hand to thigh or calf, lengthen through the right side. Inhale as you rise, right elbow, right thigh. Left arm extends forward, extended side angle. Breathe into your whole left side. From here, you can reach back, catch the half bind. Right hand instep of the right foot. Now there actually is a full bind here. Make sure your right arm is on the inseam of the right leg as you reach back. Maybe catch fingertips or wrists. And when you're complete, gently release. Rise it back up into your warrior two and straighten through your right leg. Heel toe left foot forward, shorten your stance. Deepen in your right hip crease. Extend right arm forward, reach. Right hand to ankle, shin, floor. Left arm extends up and twist. The spine open, gazes at the left fingertips, deep Ujjayi breath. Now take your block with you for Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Your block tower or just a single block. Block can come forward of right foot. Shift weight into your right foot. press down through the balls of the right foot. Seal the outer edge down, lift the inner edge up so your foot is like a suction cup. Press the shin bone back, lift the kneecap up. Maybe bend in left knee, reach back, catch left foot. So here's our traditional Chalpasana variation. Always a fun variation to add to half moon. But what I'll really want to impress upon you is kicking the left heel towards the left seat. Turn your left knee into more of a clamp. And then, of course, you can release the left hand. So even if you weren't able to catch your left foot, just draw your left knee forward. This is crucial, being able to shoot energy through the knee. And slowly lower left knee down. You can bend in the right knee. Gently sit down to ground in your Malasana squat. So that's the shape we're going to recreate. Take your block tower. Block tower can come off to the side. And this time, literally off of the mat. Again, I can't emphasize it enough. Don't keep walking your hands forward. You're going to want to. Don't do it. Walk your hands back. Here they can practically be in the same line as that front edge of your block tower. Maybe an inch or two forward, but that's it. Again, spread the fingers wide. Press firmly through the index finger and thumb knuckles. Arms stay straight. Spiral the eyes, the elbows in towards midline. Really try to melt your heart towards your thigh. So you're working compression. Right foot will perch onto the block this time. Left knee pees on the fire hydrant. Lift up onto your tippy toes. See if you can float that right foot up. And slowly draw both legs up to meet. Squeeze legs together, reach out through the balls of the feet. And it's great because you can keep your straight line from the beginning. Never lose the connection. Work that connection back down. Bend in the left knee out to the left. Right leg straight out to the right. Again, squeeze your abs with your thigh. And gently sit down onto the block tower. Whew, the wrists are starting to talk to you. You can place your forearms on top of your calves and take a seat. So nice, nod side to side. Breathe into that space. And we have that to look forward to on the other side. Again, the external hips are much more challenging to navigate at first. It does take a little bit more imprinting, a little bit more subtle awareness, proprioception. It's really worth it. And it's, I think for most people, a little bit easier once you've firmly established that connection. All right, straighten through the legs. Heel toe the feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Bend in the knees. Peel the chest off of the thighs, both arms reach. Utkatasana. Your left foot, right heel lifts towards your right seat. Hands can come through heart center. Pitch the heart forward as you reach your right foot back. Warrior three. Gently bend in the left knee, right foot steps way back. Inhale, both arms sweep. Open down to your warrior two. Adjust the stance, heel to arch alignment. Re-extend at your fingertips. Relax the shoulders. Make sure your left ankle and knee are stacking, of course. Flip your left palm, reverse your warrior, right hand to thigh or calf. Lengthen through the left side. Inhale as you rise, left elbow, left thigh. Right arm extends forward, extended side angle. Right hand can reach back behind the lower back. Maybe catch your inner thigh. Option to reach left hand to instep of left foot. Lovely place to pause. You can press your arm into the leg into the arm, and wrap your left seat underneath you for a deeper external rotation of femur head bone and hip socket. Maybe, and you'll have to free up your right hand, slide left arm underneath the inseam of your left leg. Reach back, see if you can catch the full bind. Release the bind, rise warrior two, and straighten through your left leg. Heel toe your right foot forward, shorten the stance. Deepen in your left hip crease, extend left and forward, reach. Left hand to ankle, shin floor, right arm extends up and twist. The spine open, gazes at the right fingertips. Deep Ujjayi breaths. Amazing. Really enjoy, appreciate the shapes. We are definitely focusing on navigating into the more challenging passageways, but all of these passageways are important to activate. So keep that prana, life force energy flowing. Take a block with you. Lean weight into your left foot. Press down through your left foot and float the right foot up. Right hip stacks on top of the left. Push out through heel. Reach out through crown. Maybe bend right knee, ridge back, catch. Right foot with right hand. And kick the foot into the hand. Slingshot the heart forward towards front of the room. Always lovely. Nice reminder to keep the heart space open too. Again, this may be challenging to press into your handstand because you may be subtly hunching in the shoulders, which is an inefficient line. So it's always kind of nice to have a little shoulder opening in the sequence to remind. And then kick your right heel towards your right seat. Clamp down, like you're trying to hold on to a dumbbell with your knee. And then kick that knee forward. So I'm really pressing through my knee. And that's crucial for energetic counterbalance. And then slowly lower. You can bend in that left knee, set the right foot down, pause in your Malasana squat. Take a load off, have a breather, and then make your block tower on the left side. So again, block tower off to the left. The bent knee will make it, it's a little bit more globular, so it makes it a little bit easier to position your center of mass directly over your foundation, which will make it easier to stabilize at first. So it is a beginner move. I also think it's quite nice to have in your repertoire in case you happen to be practicing in a crowded setting, whether it be crowded with people or things. Sometimes our space is limited and we have long legs. Most of us have longer legs than we have arms. So as we learn how to hold space in these planes, you'll notice that you might get kind of bumped up against by our culture, because our culture doesn't seem to be super cool with it, which is by design. It's okay, we are waking up. So hands plant, spread the fingers wide, press firmly through the index finger and thumb knuckles. Fan the fingers out like the rays of the sun so that you can find equanimity of weight distribution through the palm. Again, you're making two L's, one L and one reflecting itself with the index finger and thumb. And then straighten through the arms. Push the floor away. Spiral the eyes, the elbows in towards midline. Left foot perches onto the block tower. I really want to find as much compression as possible. You start to realize that you're hugging your way into your central line, right? With that compression. So my thigh is literally hugging my abdomen as I pee on the fire hydrant with my right leg. I position myself into the stack. And then it's just a leg lift from there. Roll the hips up to stack again. Moving from external back into neutral again is a little bit extra, but we can be extra. Find your straight line. And then work it back down. Right knee bends. Again, subtle counterweight as the legs and the hips do their thing. The main thing is that your shoulders stay over your wrists. But I'm sure, once you're up there, but I'm sure as you begin to realize the hips and the legs can counterweight pulley themselves, which again opens up a whole vast realm of inner space for our exploration. For this next part, join me seated with the legs out wide, Upavishta Konasana,
And we're not really going for depth quite yet. We'll warm things up and then go for depth. But for now, frame your right thigh with hands on blocks. Plug your right femur head bone into your right hip socket, float right foot up and pulse here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, this is where having hard blocks and not the foam blocks really pays off. So if you have foam blocks, they may not be the best for your wrists. Lean weight forward over your right thigh. Press down through both your hands on firm levels. See if you can float one or both feet up. Honestly, just lifting the hips up is fine. This is challenging. These are crucial though for where we're headed next. You guessed it, we're gonna do both feet same time. Plug left femur head bone into your left hip socket. Arms stay straight. Push the blocks away. Float left foot up and pulse here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Again, lean weight forward over your left thigh. Really try to sandwich. And then press down through your hands. Straighten through your arms. Float your hips up. Maybe float the feet up. Perfectly normal if the quads decide to seize on you a little bit. Blocks, so you can massage them out. Lowest, medium, or highest settings, inner ankles, hands, inner thighs. Now, straighten through your arms, round in your upper spine. Float feet up and over, up and over, up and over, up and over. Well done. When you're complete with that, blocks can come off to the sides for now. We'll be making use of them later, so have them on standby, of course. And go ahead and enjoy. You can forward fold and enjoy the heat that you've created with all of the leg lifts you've just done. Well done. Those aren't easy. Walk hands over to your right leg, right arm inseam of your right leg. Sweep your left up and overhead for your side body stretch. And then roll back through to center and to the left. Left arm inseam of the left leg. You can sweep your right arm up and overhead for your side body stretch. And then rolling back up through to center. So here, if you'd like to, you can roll up into your middle splits. If you need to, you can use the blocks. Press down through hands on blocks. I'll even demonstrate to find some lift. So it's a wide-legged Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold. So you might be here initially to start, a bit higher of a position. And over time, you might slide out into your full middle. Really find that comfortability though with rolling forward and back through that extra sticky spot. Keeping the legs active, honor your body. Again, it can be up in a Prasarita Padottanasana. And slide back. Hands come underneath the knees. Slide the feet together. Hands underneath your feet. And forward fold it down. You can press your elbows into your inner thighs. Deep Ujjayi breaths, breathe into your lower back. Rolling the spine back up through to seated. Draw your knees in. Feet wide, hands behind hips. Press up, lift it back into your Malasana squat. So here we're going to attempt, and you can of course work this in a lower plane, such as in headstand if you'd like. I'm going to challenge you to at least create the setup, right? Set yourself up for success. So blocks can start about a little bit further than shoulder width distance apart. Hands plant. Go ahead and perch on your blocks and have a little skill for you. So before we go all the way into it, we did bent knee before for our puppy press. Now we're gonna do both straight legs. So you can shift weight into your right foot and then kick left leg out to the left. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower. And shift weight into your left foot.
Right foot kicks out to the right. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a moment. Pause. So again, try not to hop. I know we develop codependent relationships with the hop, but it does break our connection, and the whole intention behind handstand and the yoga practice is to quite literally align the chakras, which are embedded in the spinal column. So another term for them is cerebrospinal centers, because they're literally in the spine. So if we're hopping and we're still finding our balance somehow miraculously, but we're not aligned, it can actually create blockages in the spinal column, in the chakra system, preventing Kundalini energy from traveling up. So really try to legitimately, authentically press up by stacking the spine one vertebra at a time. And again, we're catching ourselves where we're engaging to find the press. So straightening through the legs. Again, gripping the floor with your Surya Astabandha, sun hands. Spiral the eyes, the elbows in towards midline. Plug the humerus and bones into the shoulder sockets. Squeeze your thighs with your abs and lean in. All the way up. To the top we go. Squeeze the legs together. And then like 2 big long longitudinal lines, slowly lower both feet down. Tracing your whole sphere with your toes. You can pause in all of those degrees. Squeeze your abs with your thighs. Whew. So hot right now. When you're complete with your press work, you can join me lying down on your back, supine. Walk your feet in so that your fingertips feel to graze your ankles. And then take that block tower again. Slide it underneath the sacrum, boniest part of the spine. And release. Really excellent work today. You are doing great work on behalf of the collective. And truly, truly, I'm impressed by your presses. It's not easy work rebuilding this connection, right? We're literally learning how to operate our vehicles again, for many of us, the first time. Even when we do lots of physical activities, we're not asking to do this type of intelligent structural re-engineering. So really thank you on behalf of the collective for doing this work. If you'd like to, you can stay on the block tower and chill. Although we have generated quite a bit of tapas, heat for purification in the heart space. So if you'd like to take it up into a back bend, of course, feel free, pressing down through the balls of the feet. Lift the hips up off of the block tower. Block tower off to the side, so you don't have to worry about coming back down onto it. Place the hands on either side of the head, fingers pointing towards shoulders. Wrap the elbows in, wrap the knees in. Charge up the legs, pressing down through all 4 points of energy, root to rise. Float the head up. Once you arrive in your Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow pose, you can walk the hands in. And then maybe walk the feet together for another added bonus. Bending in the knees like an Utkatasana chair pose. Coil up that potential energy in the legs. And start to straighten through the legs, propagating energy through the legs and directly into the thoracic spine. Walk the feet back out wide. When you're ready to release, tuck the chin, so back of the head to the mat arrives first. Then slowly descend the spine down, 1 vertebra at a time. You can windshield wiper the knees side to side to release in the lower back. When you're complete with that, we'll move into a twist. Hug the knees in. And hug the right knee in. Extend the left leg out. Scoot the hips to the right. Draw the right knee across the body and over to your left. Stacking right hip on top of left hip. Roll your right shoulder down to the ground. Breathe into your lower back.
And when you're complete with your twist, no rush. Feel free to hang out here and yin out as long as you like. Decompress the lower back. Begin to engage your core so as to protect your lower back, coming back through the center. Hug the left knee in, extend the right leg out. Scoot the hips to the left. Draw the left knee across the body over to the right. Really twist your left hip all the way to stack on top of the right hip. You can even go beyond over time and explore your twisting potential in your lower spine. Crucial twisting after the back bend to alleviate pressure in the lower back and massage the spongy intervertebral discs. Engage your core, come back through the center. Hug both knees in. And I'm going to take my hair clip out for this. Legs extend straight up. Wrap the elbows in towards your side bodies. Pressing down through the upper arms, sweep the legs up and overhead for your shoulder stand. Walk the hands down the back. You can continuously press your chest towards your chin, lengthening the cervical spine. Maybe lowering the feet down, you can arrive in your halasana plow pose. The feet are the blade of the plow. Interlace the fingers behind the back, press the palms together. Maybe bend in the knees for your ear squeeze pose, Karna Pidasana. Retracing your steps to come back out, back through Halasana. And descend the spine down one vertebra at a time. Work that spinal articulation. Hands come underneath your seat, extend the legs. Press down through the forearms and lift the chest up, let the head hang back. Matsyasana fish. And gently release it. Happy baby pose. Catch outer edges of feet, rock it gently side to side. When you're complete with your practice, physical asana, sacred geometry embodiment, extend the legs out, feet flop open, palms face up, close the eyes. And allow your body to completely surrender to gravity. Give yourself permission to let go of any limiting thought forms that came up for you throughout the practice. If they aren't serving you, they're not serving the collective consciousness. And allow yourself to be welcomed into this higher vibrational frequency reality, possible world. We are literally dying unto lower frequencies as we rearrange our gunas. Thank you for practicing with me today. As always, please like, share, subscribe. Feel free to comment if you have any requests for future practices. And we'll continue to deep dive because I am absolutely certain that as we learn how to internally regulate our subtle body, we will see this in our external reality reflecting back at us as the microcosm is the macrocosm. So again, thank you on behalf of our collective for raising your own frequency. Continue to practice safely and take your yoga with you off of your yoga mat. Take this mindfulness, this fullness of Kundalini activation with you as we integrate these newly activated energetic channels together. Have a lovely day. We'll see you next time on your yoga mat. Namaste.